From two quarterbacks who are aging and aren't getting it done to two quarterbacks who are aging and still getting it done. Let's talk a little Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers before we take our first break.
Cool.
First, Brady, the injuries are accumulating.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the right ring finger, and it is the throwing hand. Somebody tried to email me or text me yesterday, say, no, it's his left hand. No, it's his right hand. It is the ring finger on his throwing hand and his right shoulder. He did not practice on Wednesday. Now, remember, Sunday splash from a couple of weeks ago, he's never practicing on Wednesday again, no matter how many more years he plays football. And then he practiced immediately the first Wednesday after that because they picked up Cole Beasley, who, by the way, has retired to spend more time with his family. I wonder if that registers with Tommy. So, which was just a weird little curveball yesterday. Cole Beasley is retired, just gone, just done. See you later.
Right.
Brady didn't practice, and he's also trying to avoid his first 3-game losing streak since 2002, which is amazing.
Yeah.
It's an amazing accomplishment. I think they'll be fine against the Falcons, and obviously he'll play. But, Chris, I'm worried about one injury, two injuries. Where's the next one going to come? And is this that moment that I was told about 5 years ago? Once the legs keep him from getting away from taking those hits,
right,
the injuries are going to start to pile up, and he's just going to be done.
I hear you. And then, again, we talked about Matt Ryan and how he looks. I mean, I don't think there's anybody in the football world that doesn't think Tom Brady looks a hair more frail this year than years past. I don't mean that to be disrespectful. His arm is still big time and everything. But I think that's, more to the point, too, Mike, of what you're saying here is why they have to, I think, continue to work and play an offense that they won the Super Bowl with and not the offense last year, where he can't at this age be dependent on, or I wouldn't want to if I'm the head coach, of having a 45-year-old back there and we got to throw it 45 times a game for 400 yards to win the game. That's how they played last year. I don't think it sets up for their ultimate best football team and way to play. And as we've seen, too, he's going to take hits. He's not a quarterback that's great under pressure as far as getting out of it, backyard football and all that. And, that's why I think the running the football, play action pass, play through the defense is something that Todd Bowles wants to do. But, I'm with you, Mike. We got to keep our eye on this a little bit because he is getting hit a little bit this year. That's for sure.
Can we run that video again?
Yeah.
Because, look, and this is the greatest of all time.
I know.
At any position in the National Football League. But he's 45. And I don't care how much avocado ice cream you eat, how much pliability exercises you do, you're 45. That is not a devastating hit. We have seen guys take far bigger hits all the time. This is not like, he's going to be hurt. I mean, he is getting banged up by fairly ordinary hits, Chris. That's my concern.
Yeah.
This would not have made it to jacked up. Remember they used to do that on ESPN?
Right.
This would not have made it to jacked up. He did not get jacked up, but his shoulder is effed up.
Yeah. Well,
by a fairly routine hit. That's what my concern is. Again, he's 45. And I applaud, literally, this isn't phony golf clap. It's amazing that the guy's got the courage to go out there with guys half his age and younger and face that risk. And it is a little crazy that he can't just give it up and walk away, because he probably should. He probably should have already, and he probably should right now. But, man, that was not a, he's going to feel that tomorrow type of a hit that John Madden used to say.
Yeah, right.
It was just a fairly routine. It wasn't even, I mean.
No, it wasn't crushing.
It was nothing.
No. I think the thing that I look at least as an ex-quarterback and thrower is his arm got caught in a little bit of a weird spot. That's where I don't know if it's necessarily the actual force of the blow, but the fact that the arm was like this and kind of got jammed into him a little bit, that's where quarterbacks can get hurt or get a sore arm, because it can mess with that rotator cuff or the joint a little bit. I'm imagining it was more that than anything. But, again, I don't think you're wrong with your point there. He's tough as hell. He's still amazing. He can still throw the ball at an elite level. There's no doubt about that. But I think, again, that's been the kryptonite of their football team. We saw that there. When they play a team and we got to well, they have a good front and a creative way to get pressure and stuff like that. That's, to me, why they can't beat the Saints or beat the Rams. Why they struggled against, even Washington last year, because they had a front four that could kind of get there and do some things. And it becomes like, okay, wait, when we throw the ball all the time and play that way against these type of defenses, they don't beat them. When they went on their Super Bowl run, it was 2 tight ends, run the football at the end of the year, and then boom, play action pass, Gronk, Mike Evans, all that. And then he was protected, so he could stand back there and not worry about it. They got to get to that level of play, I think, to your point, for a 45-year-old quarterback to protect him for the long haul of the season. And I think ultimately that'll be their best way to maximize what they are as a football team if they want to get to the Super Bowl.
Get through these 17 regular season games, position themselves for favorable matchups, if possible, in the postseason, and see if they can get back to a Super Bowl and win it. And if they would do it, this is the time for him to walk off into the sunset. I really do think he needs to call it a day after this season, regardless of what's going on personal life, because now the theory is going around, hey, if he and Giselle are splitting up, he can keep playing. Even then, don't keep playing. I think he needs to call it a day, because 46, 47, it's fun to think about it. It's amazing to watch, but I just think that we're seeing that it's time for Tom Brady to move on to something else. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.